Beach days, amusement parks, funnel cakes, fireworks. To millions, that's what comes to mind when they think Coney Island. But to us, it's so much more than that. It's where we learned to ride our bikes, shot our first baskets, had our first day of school, met our first friends. It's the backdrop to our childhoods, the place where we made friendships and memories that will last a lifetime. It's our community, our home, and our responsibility. And part of that responsibility now includes facing the harsh reality of climate change. One of the most significant challenges in combating climate change is the widespread lack of understanding about its causes, consequences, and most importantly, the readily available solutions. How much would you guys say you know about climate change?
Very little.
Not much?
Fair amount.
Fair amount, you think?
Yeah.
I'm
What
not
about you?
sure.
Not too much, a little more than the average person though.
Not much, but I know it's changing.
It is changing. Our planet is getting warmer. That is an undeniable fact. And we can see and feel the effects of it right here in our home.
Alone today was like
All over the place.
yeah.
And if you don't believe it, well, here's the proof. I used data taken from the NOAA weather station in JFK Airport to make this graph. The blue line shows the average temperature for each month in the year 2000, and the green line shows 2024. Again, this is real data from a real weather station right here in New York City, and the numbers show that every single month has gotten warmer over the last 24 years, with the most drastic increases happening in our summer and winter months.
You can tell the difference in, summer, winter. This winter is the first winter we had in a long time.
Now, while warmer winters might not sound like such a bad thing to some people, it comes at a cost. For starters, it throws off the natural rhythms of our ecosystem. Those early blooms you see in March, they're not just a pretty sight. They're a sign that things are out of sync. The insects that depend on those flowers might not be ready, disrupting the food chain. And those mild days in January, they might feel nice, but they can lead to more pests surviving the winter, causing problems for our parks and gardens come spring. Just yesterday, I was walking down the street and walked face first into a swarm of gnats. It's the middle of December. But the impacts go beyond the environment. Think about our infrastructure. Warmer temperatures means more rain, and Coney Island is no stranger to flooding. Our sewers were built for a different climate, and they're struggling to keep up. We're seeing more frequent street closures and more disruptions to our daily lives. And what about the economic impact? Coney Island thrives on tourism, and a big part of that is the summer season. But longer, hotter summers can actually deter visitors. Extreme heat days can keep people away, hurting local businesses and the livelihoods of our neighbors. Just this past summer, I decided to go to Luna Park and play some carnival games. And while I was having fun, I couldn't help but notice how hot it was and how uncomfortable I was. I don't remember it being that way when I would go as a kid. So, what can we do? The good news is we're not powerless. There are solutions, which is why we need to educate ourselves and each other about the realities of climate change and the importance of taking action. One last question. If you could see mitigation efforts for climate change and things like that implemented in your own community, would you like to see that?
Yes. I would do anything.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Yes.
The people want it, the world needs it, so let's do it. For starters, we can switch to cleaner energy sources. Instead of burning fossil fuels, we can use sources like solar or wind energy. This would reduce the amount of heat-trapping gases, also known as greenhouse gases, we put into the atmosphere. With less heat-trapping gas, less heat gets trapped. Another way to reduce those heat-trapping gases is to use public transportation or switch to an electric car. Instead of every single person pumping those heat-trapping gases into the atmosphere, it would just be a few buses and trains. And with electric cars, it would significantly reduce the amount of heat-trapping gases produced by your car. Now, while these changes can help on a global scale, let's talk about things we can do to actually see and feel a difference right here in Coney Island. Have you ever heard of green roofs? I bet you've seen one before. Ever been to the Barclays Center? Ever noticed the grass on the roof? Yep, that's a green roof. Green roofs are basically like gardens, but built into roofs of buildings. And the layers of soil, support, drainage, and waterproofing create a well-insulated roof that helps to keep your building cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter, reducing energy consumption used on heating and cooling. It's a win-win. Plus, the plants will use up carbon from the atmosphere during photosynthesis. There's so many benefits. Something else we can implement into the neighborhood is reflective surfaces on our pavements, roads, and rooftops. Darker colors tend to absorb heat. By using lighter colored surfaces, that heat can be reflected back up into outer space instead of heating up our buildings and roads and therefore our community. One more thing we can do is something as simple as planting more trees and creating more green spaces. It sounds like a simple solution because it is. Trees can provide shade coverage, reducing the amount of heat absorbed by the ground and roads. They also sequester a ton of carbon from the atmosphere, reducing the effects of climate change, all the while producing oxygen and improving our air quality. The reality is, climate change is here, and Coney Island is feeling its effects. But by embracing clean energy, utilizing green roofs and reflective surfaces, and planting more trees, we can create a cooler, healthier, and a more sustainable community. These ideas aren't abstract. They are feasible solutions that can make a real impact in our community. So let's work together to make a change and protect the place we all call home.